Most pet shops are quite loud because they have birds in and they're always sort of singing, if you can call it singing. And there's lots of cages. And you sometimes, if you can put your finger through the bar and tickle what's ever inside like a rabbit.
At the end of the day, most of it's the U factor, the R factor, you know. That's, oh, look at that, you know. Cute little kitten.
It's awful to think that we're sitting there waiting for somebody to pluck us out of the air and take us home and keep us forever, you know. But at the same time, I'm never brave enough to go and make the first move and go up to somebody and say, right, you, how about taking me home and looking after me and loving me and cherishing me?
I think, yeah, go for things that are obvious. Dogs and cats and the like. I mean, there's all sorts of people. They have things in their bathrooms and all sorts, don't they? Alligators and that sort of thing. Wouldn't have it in my bathroom, I can say. Nope, wouldn't.
He's called Chester, and he is very long when he stretches himself out. If you annoy me, his eyes sort of widen a bit.
I don't think that I'm awful looking. I think I'm all right looking. People always say that I've got very open, honest eyes. So I think that I would be pretty nice to have around and have hanging about the place on the sofa.
I don't know. A lot of old nonsense, I think, really. So, I mean, you need to spend proper amounts of money on things, but you see some of these dogs that people have about. No, I don't think you need to spend a lot on them.
Dog toys, well, they love running and fetching things, so we've got balls on ropes, and lots of dogs, especially the smaller dog, like a Yorkshire Terrier, likes a squeaky toy. That's a high-pitched one, or just for a laugh, we've got ones that'll go.
We went to a friend's last weekend, and this poor little hamster's in this wheel thing for its exercise.
Well, it had a little car. It was a Volkswagen Beetle with a wheel in the middle, and it actually, by working the wheel, moved across the carpet.
Poor old hamsters running round on the wheel. Why do they do it? Because they're as daft as a 2-bob watch, I should think. Them poor bloody hamsters thinking, I could get out of here in about 2 minutes flat. And then they find out they ain't going nowhere. Just like the rest of us. We're all on the bloody wheel ourselves, aren't we?
Dogs are just stupid. People go on about how
stupid as stick insects. Stick insects are the most stupid creatures in the world. I mean, look at me pretending to be a log. Isn't that clever? Oh, I'm a little twig. Isn't that great? I mean, dogs are far better than that.
I think cats make good pets.
There's quite a lot of cats with bad breath, though. That's what I don't like about them.
Cats?
Yeah.
I like stick insects. I once got a train journey with me and 2 stick insects. It was brilliant.
I know, and I very much like a stick insect, but not as a intellectual conversationalist. I mean, hey, have you seen my log impression? Yes. You know, doesn't go much further than that, does it?
Stick insects don't have a developed vocal tract. That wouldn't happen. I think, though, dogs are stupid.
I don't really like snakes. Spiders I can live with, but I've never touched a snake. I almost did, but no, they're not our thing.
I feel isolated. I feel alone. I think I can hear something scraping on the outside, and I don't know what it is. I'd like there to be someone here with me.
Snakes can be dangerous to other pets. They can swallow things whole, and they do eat mice and small rodents whole without chewing.
Now, I like the furries and the tortoises, because I've got tortoises. I love tortoises, but they're still asleep at the moment.
Oh, sleep's really important to me. Yeah, I mean, I go through passages when I need to have a lot of it, and it's just good. I mean, man, come on. It must be, you know, in the top 3 of everybody's list. Your bed, you know, I mean, top 3, top 2, top 1, maybe the top. My bed, wow.
Sometimes the pet, when people are looking, will actually do something to say, I'm the one you want. Here I am. You want me, I'll have me.
it's like I've been sitting on a bench with all of my friends. It's like being at a dance, one by one, somebody's come up and taking them away. And then there's just me.
How much am I worth? I would find it very hard to put a value on that.
On a good day, I would say that I'd be worth a fair lump sum.
Do I say £1 million or do I say £10 million?
I don't think I'm that valuable. I think I'm worth about £142 probably.
At the end of the day, if you're the right person, you can buy me for 10p.
But the rest of the time, on days when maybe I'm feeling a bit grumpy and I'm sort of having an off day with people and I'm not in my normal friendly state of mind, I wouldn't pay a penny for me. I'd throw me back and choose another one.
I want a price ticket on myself.
No, not at all.
No.
I wouldn't even sell you.
I wouldn't sell you either.
Ah.
I don't know if I worry about being left on the shelf, because at the end of the day, I've come through sort of many years of being on my own and having a really great time. And I think, well, if I was on my own, I'd just continue to live life. And if it was at this standard, I wouldn't have a lot to complain about.
They sort of been on and off the shelf, as they say, really. There's been a time when I thought I was on the shelf and then I got took off again.
Everyone gets rejection in life. When you're younger, you're more able to actually cope with that, I think, and bounce back. And you're not on the shelf for long.
I know that it will be okay in the end, but I am very pessimistic. I think it's going to take a long time before I get out of here.
The icing on the cake would be the partner or the companion who would be there with me for the next number of years.
And so I'm nicely happy now in my life, having been took off the shelf, and that's like a nice family that I'm in now, and that's very comfortable sort of feeling.
Jill has a tendency, most mornings actually, to claim that at some point during the previous night I farted very loudly.
I think snakes and spiders are more scared of you than you are of them.
I have a phobia of being shut in an incredibly small space. Like my ultimate, the idea of being buried alive with no space in a box. Oh man.
As I look down, I can see an empty beer keg standing beside a plastic bucket full of don't know what. And looking out further, a melange of undergrowth and rubbish and rocks and bricks and concrete and shoes, and then in the distance the marvellous vista of the motorway. It's like a dream come true.
What's the neighbourhood like round here, both of you?
Down in the ghetto, that's where the life is so cold.
We don't live in the ghetto. It's an inner city we live in.
It's an urban redevelopment scheme. Yeah. The council really wants to know.
Urban. You know what I mean? Remember, state the word.
This is one of the best neighbourhoods you could live. The way it's handed to the centre of town, also to the local village at Stockton Heath. So I just love living here. I have done since the first day we moved in, especially because of the people who live around here. But that's, forget that bit.
I know it's not mine. It's beyond my wildest dreams because it's really upmarket. And I'm not kidding you, I would never have dreamt in a million years when I was in Newcastle, I would be living in a place like this.
It's
a lot better.
Much nicer. Yeah. Much nicer.
Lots bigger.
Yeah.
Much more spacious, yeah.
More garden.
Yeah. Nice to have a garden, yeah.
And dare I say it, more than one loo.
Yes.
My dream house would be like really modern day. There would be an elevator to go upstairs. So my feet get tired of going up to bed. I was just like, I had to keep on climbing it every hour.
that wall there, for about 3 foot up, was running with water when we moved in. And I was a long while trying to work out why.
No. No, what's a stupid question? Damn problem. No, I don't think so.
What do you mean by that, kind sir?
What do you mean, substance? Substance? What's a substance?
Subsidence.
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 Yeah.
Subsidence.
You're lean.
Yeah, I'm lean. Yeah, I've got a leaning problem. Yeah.
No, you mean if... What do you mean, that?
Subsidence? We don't get any subsidence here.
Nothing here at all.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure why. I don't think we get it here.
I mean, some people lay stones on sand, but I don't agree with that. I lay stones on clay, which is what is underneath, and I use the Italian system of ramming it in sideways when it's moist, and then jumping on it. Jumping and jumping and jumping. You can actually cause yourself varicose veins if you do that.
It was built by boys who knew how to build houses in the 1950s, because that's built with brick. See? A lot of these houses you see now, they're just thrown up. This one was built putting one brick on top of the other. I think I'm here permanent now. Absolutely permanent.
I've been here for over 2 years now.
Yes,
because
I've been here about 2 years.
I've been here
I think I'm longer than you.
Yes. You would have, yes. I became...
I'm not sure how long I've been.
You were here when I came. I've been here 4 years. Roughly 4 years.
I can't remember.
Enjoyed every minute
I think
of
I've
it.
been longer than 2 years, I'm sure of that.
You have been, yes.
Well, it's just nice to know that there's, like, I come here and there's people like Muriel and a few hundred, well, a few.
Yes,
yes,
a few.
And they're all the same. We're all here for the same purpose.
Companionship,
That's it.
friendship, conversation. We talk about past lives sometimes, future. What we're going to do tonight.
Monday I wait for Thursday, Thursday I wait for Monday.
No, I didn't say that.
No, I know you
No,
didn't, but
mine
I
was
do.
I said to one of them, did you have a nice weekend?
But we did say that, I mean, we quite like it, don't we? We did say if we win the lottery, we'd put a swimming pool and we'd be quite happy here, wouldn't we? Like to somewhere sort of like warm in the winter and then come back here in the summer, because I do like it here.
Spain. Yeah. Spain.
Spain.
Algarve in Spain. Algarve.
I don't know, haven't really given it too much thought.
Big Miami would be nice.
I've noticed when you pass people down here and you're smiling to say good morning, you sort of wouldn't do that in Newcastle. In Newcastle, they would think you were soft. I mean, you just didn't do that. People just sort of walk past each other and bump into each other. But down here, it's just nice and friendly and I like it. I mean, it's great.
It's friendly, although we don't mix. No, ain't the right word. We don't walk in and out of each other's houses, but everybody's friendly, everybody speaks when you see them. No, I can't think of anything I really dislike about it.
Well, you don't know what's round the corner, but I can't be doing with moving again.
Well, the shop's around the corner.
What do you mean, the shop's around the corner?
Well, there's the hairdressers, the shoe shop, the clothes shop,
What's that
and there
got
was a
to-
post office. Well, you said you never know what's round the corner, and I do. I do know what's round the corner.
Yeah, I'm not going to move them all. It's too hard to work for one thing. This is where we are. We'll finish up here. I like it anyway.
What would I say I like about this neighbourhood? The views. I mean, the views are just as sunset to sunrise, sunrise to sunset. Wonderful views. Yeah.
Here comes the rain. Oh dear. I think it'll go. Seems to be.
It'll just be a passing drop.
With the bedroom with a big leak in the roof.
No.
Which we don't know where it's coming from because nobody's bothered to look.
Because I like to call myself lucky. But having your house struck by lightning on the first day when you move in seems to me that ain't such a lucky thing.
Who would win the 100 metres? Obvious.
Yeah. I could win sort of the first 30 metres.
Yeah, right.
No, I could.
No, you couldn't.
And then it'd be you.
No, you couldn't win the first half a metre.
Okay, as you say, Patrick's the one who's much more
You could be wearing
competitive.
running shoes.
That's actually rude.
Whoopsie.
Personally, I find it so much easier to run with somebody than on my own.
It is by far the best form of social.
Oh yeah, I really love it. Wife hates it, I love it.
What about a mile? Who'd win in a mile?
Patrick.
I would win in a mile.
If you didn't get distracted.
If I didn't get distracted.
Yeah.
No.
I think your mind fitness is more important. Mental
mind and body fitness.
Mental fitness is more important than your body fitness.
Running is a mind thing. It is a mind thing.
It is a mind thing.
It's not a case of just putting one foot in front of the other. It is a mind thing. If you haven't got the frame of mind to run that day, that time, that minute, you're only one step away from a walk. And that is it.
That's a good point.
Excuse me, could I interview you on your experience of running? It's exhausting. I get a bit red and sweaty and hot, very hot. And I find at times I get sort of chafing. That's quite uncomfortable.
When the Jane Fonda workout video has been on, I have actually joined in once or twice, but at my age now I've gone a bit stiff.
We used to go and dive off about 40-foot cliff straight into the sea. It didn't worry us. Now I wouldn't even go within 10 feet of the cliff. But there you are.
Just go back to sports quickly.
Mhm.
Did you ever do sports to impress the opposite sex at all?
No, I wouldn't want to impress the opposite sex with sport because I think they just spoils us.
The first thing really was, when I first started climbing, was to try and impress ladies. And besides that, all the women you do meet down here are basically hairy baboons, you know, they're not my type, unfortunately.
And legs down for power. So hand first, bang. Faster with the hand, Ruth, faster with the hand. But that doesn't mean fast with legs as well. Fast hand first. Watch. Pause and fast hand. That's it.
It's been lots of fun doing this. I enjoy it. Really, really hoping to one day get quite good at this, but I don't know if it'll happen. I'm getting too fat, really. Oh dear.
When you're getting swing through the air, like you don't know where you're at and you're trying to like find where you are, but he's got complete control of your body. Yeah, that move is really painful on your socket of your shoulder because he really pulls at it, and when you land, it's painful on your.
Okay.
Yeah.
When he lands on the floor, so I still got control of him.
You feel a bit like dizzy afterwards.
I went fly fishing once. I caught a 7-pound blue bottle. I tried it, but I got bored, just sat there waiting for it. something to out of nothing. A bit more. I'd like a bit more activity, like than fishing.
Well, every time you go fishing, you never know what you're going to catch, and every bite you get, it could be something different. I mean, just caught a perch, which is only a little thing. Spiky perch.
Good. A few more. Distance. Pass feet. Keep the distance nicely. Good. Change direction. Good. Holding blades as well. Make sound for power. Low line parry. Set team. Riposte. Cease riposte. Start riposte. Fast hand. Parry, 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 parry. Nice hit.
We can get to some interesting places doing this. Most people don't get to see these places, but which is good. It gets you away from other people into the great outdoors. Oh, right, okay. It's just a long reach and see if I can get to the top. Ooh. Okay then, see what we can do this time. Oh.
Well, there's been a few times I've fished with one where I haven't had any bites all day. For a couple of times I've been you against the fish, basically. But today's been good, which is very unusual because it's been so cold. But obviously they're hungry.
Hands are getting sweaty already. Getting high as well. Oh dear. I hope I'm not gonna. Ooh, foot slip.
Sometimes I'm competitive and sometimes I'm not, but quite a lot I do quite like to be on the side that wins, but if I'm not, I'm just cool with it, sort of thing.
Well, you're getting better.
Yeah, I'm getting better. At the moment, I think I'm cool with losing.
You just describe what move you're going to do and then do it. And then tell me where to, because I don't want to get in the way. So.
Okay, there's well, he's gonna land over there, so be careful. Go back. Extending him. Hold on high. Tight. Okay.
The last game I played with you, you weren't very happy that you lost.
Yeah, and that was quite a long time ago.
Well, you didn't take it well that you'd lost.
I didn't take it that well, but I took it all right.
I'm not getting enough exercise. I used to go swimming, but I've not got the time to do it now. I just can't be bothered. I used to like swimming, but I've packed that in.
All green and slimy with googly eyes. Googly eyes and little thingies that go up in the air with round bits on the end. Antennae. Yeah, with a spaceship.
I don't believe in aliens, really. I don't believe in strange people and strange creatures and strange anything, because God wouldn't create anything that's not perfect and that's abnormal and strange.
No, I don't believe there's alien life on this planet. I believe there's something, but what? We don't know. But I believe there's something that we've not been told about that.
What do you mean if aliens existed? Aliens do exist. Everybody knows aliens exist.
I think if aliens existed, I would think they're about that small. Some of them, these are the good ones, that small, and they have quite a big head, and they're very good at sums, and they have small legs and arms.
I've no idea what aliens would look like. They could look like anything. They might just be a ball of gas, or an idea, or a particular coloured light.
The whole conspiracy thing about aliens is absolutely ridiculous. I mean, why on earth would they visit us to fly around in some farmer's back garden in the back end and beyond in Suffolk to just bugger off again? It just doesn't make sense whatsoever. And the whole thing about UFOs in the sky is just beyond me.
Well, what is a UFO?
You know what a UFO is?
What does it stand for?
I can't remember. Something. What is it?
An unidentified flying object. No, I've never seen one of those. I don't even know what one is.
So anything that you don't identify that flies past you is a UFO, isn't it? So basically, if it's a bird that you don't recognise, what's that? You get the book out, you can't identify it. That was a UFO, wasn't it?
No, you're being silly.
I've seen a UFO at a time when UFOs were being sighted in Lancashire. People were saying they had flying saucers going over the rooftops in a suburb of Bolton. And one news reporter claimed to have taken a photograph, but whether it was a genuine photo is another thing.
I came beginning of May in 1984 because it's a beautiful planet. You can see it from quite far. It looks very attractive.
It's not as striking, the difference that people expect when they ask how different is it than home. I mean, you hate to lapse into this whole stereotype about how the English people are who live around me.
We have radionic equipment, which we call spiritual energy radiators, which have been in operation now for over 30 years. Every unselfish action is potentized by spiritual energy radiators.
You have here like shopping centers, which are like community centers nowadays. You have people on Saturday take their children to shopping center, like probably that's one of the elements of care and community programs they have now. They develop, strong enough medication so they can keep you quiet and you can just walk around and look at the bright, shiny things.
Yeah.
Makes you happy.
I mean, they make these models of aliens. I mean, how can they make models of aliens when they've never ever seen aliens? You know what I mean? Is that is that a fuss? You know?
Yeah,
but is it?
Yeah,
you know
but
what I mean?
you're allowed to have that imagination, aren't you?
Yeah, but I mean, how can they mould an alien when they've not seen an alien?
Well, if somebody asks you what's an alien look like...
Well, I couldn't tell them because I don't know, because I've never seen one.
If they say, right, what do you think it looks like?
Well, again, I wouldn't be able to tell you because I don't know.
Yeah, but wouldn't you have a go at saying, I think they might look like this, or...
Well, they could be 2 foot tall.
Well, I think a lot of the portrayal of aliens comes from people who say they've seen aliens or they've been beamed up by aliens. Some of these stories people come out with.
Do you think they are stories, or do you think they're true?
There's no doubt in my mind that these people have had an experience.
No, I think that's nonsense, to be honest. I think people have either had too much to drink or they've just got very imaginative imaginations.
I reckon they've been on some sort of wacky-backy type stuff, I reckon, if they're saying they've been abducted by it. So
they glow in the dark,
The first few months in this country, I had to learn that you do not kiss everybody to say hello. And I did with the postman. I opened the door, there was the postman, I gave him a kiss on his cheek twice or whatever. And he was absolutely shocked.
I've loved the weather here. And I know that sounds crazy because everyone always complains about the weather here. Oh, it's very temperate. Living in the city, you hardly ever have a freeze. And when you do have snow, it's pretty and it melts when it hits the ground, which is ideal.
Yeah, I reckon there's quite a few of them roaming around the planet at the moment. And
Well, I think just the opposite. To be honest, I don't think at this particular time aliens do not exist. Until someone comes up with the proof that they are existing.
There's a lot of proof that they exist on other planets, isn't there?
You know, it may not be kind of like we might be looking at sort of, looking at things in other dimensions, other planes. It doesn't have to be travelling through long distances, things like the elves and the fairies.
Wacky people. Wacky people. Real strange.
this is home, you know. Everything is a bit upside down, but that's the way it is.
But it's becoming, slowly, it's becoming level.
I've learned that it's very important to be polite.
Yes.
You have to remember to say certain amount of thank yous and sorries. You have to say sorry to people you shouldn't really say. You know, you walk on the street and there's a person walking in front of you.
Yes.
And suddenly those two people perform a dance saying sorry, you know, and you don't know which way to move.
Yes.
I think that was something which I felt a bit amused by that.
Yes. Mainly, I just watched Jeremy Paxman.
Now, as to whether they visited us or not, recently, I couldn't tell you. They might have. Who's to say they ain't here now?
My theory is we came from another planet.
It's just pants. I don't believe in it.
The circus is it's a bit boring, isn't it, really?
The best effective medicine is... I have no idea.
You see, I've had a lot of things wrong with me. I mean, I'm always going to the doctors, and you get there and you find out, you know, there's queues to wait all the time, and most of the time, and then, well, I mean, doctors a lot of the time waiting in queues, and, well, I mean, most of the time you spend most of your time in the doctors waiting, don't you?
Well, I'm sorry, I'm one of these that goes to the doctor when it's generally necessary. I mean, I ain't one of these goes for every pill, potion and tablet that there is. You know, if I know what's the matter with me, I mean, I expect the doctor to do something about it. I won't be fobbed off by them.
Doctors have always scared me because when I was born I nearly died. I had 50% chance of living when I was born, and was in a little incubator, and all my eyes were covered and I was yellow, which was awful.
I rarely go to the doctor. The last time I did go, he thought I'd died because I hadn't been for such a long time.
Doctors and I are great friends. I owe a lot to doctors. They've kept me alive. I've seen a lot of them. They've come, they've prodded me from top to bottom, in and out, every end, every part of my body. And they cut me open, stitched me up, and did a pretty good job on me all over.
I'm the kind of person that's sort of a bit of a hypochondriac, and if I get a little sort of nagging pain or something, I automatically think it's something really serious. But then I never go to the doctor, really.
And you never shut up about it either.
I know, it's just kind of like typical bloke, I suppose, where...
It's not.
Should we rave about it now?
Well, it's these heart palpitations I get. You see, you never know when they're going to come, and they just... You got your heart jumping about all over the place.
Can't do with sputum, and I can't do very much with feet. I can't do anything with anybody's feet. I can't have all on doing anything with my own, and sputum really makes my stomach turn over. You know. I don't mind vomit.
I developed a funny lockjaw. You know, the dribble was coming out the side of my mouth. I couldn't speak, I couldn't chew. I just wanted to die. Took one look at me and said, "Oh, that's allergic reaction." He gave me my antidote, and immediately my mouth just went back to normal.
That's what I got now. I've got throat swelling now. I've got the tablets for that at the moment as well.
I've took a lot of tablets all my life, about 23,000, and I'm still alive. But at the end of the day, I think without them I'd have been dead.
I once had my head slammed in a door. That was good. I was saying goodbye to my friend, and somebody slammed the door on my head, and it was my birthday, and I had to have 5 stitches in my head, so I've got them as well.
I mean, I could have had a DVT, couldn't I, laid in bed all that time, but I mean, as I said, they gave me an anticoagulant. Anyway, I'm here to tell the story, so there's people worse off than I am, and I can walk about all right.
I remember having a severe cold which didn't shift, and I shared a flat with a couple of vet students who dosed me with Famil syrup, the main active ingredient of which I believe is creosote. So I spent several days smelling like a fence post, but it did the job.
You see, I've had a lot of things wrong with me. There was big problems with my eyes at one stage. I went in about my eyes on a lot of times and had to go to see specialists. And you see that, but what they do is they clamp your head in a big clamp, and they want to bounce things on your eyeballs.
I had an eye operation quite a few years ago. I flew very quickly after I'd had the eye operation.
Well, you can't, I couldn't be doing with that, and so I'm pulling my head out of this clamp all the time.
And it was a real concern. I shouldn't have flown because it put too much pressure behind the eye.
That's another occasion when they told me I could just go on my own way. So I got thrown out of there as well.
I've fallen for a nurse, yeah. I fell for a nurse once. This blonde, beautiful little blonde lady. She was quite nice, she was. Yes. I used to travel to Birmingham to see her on my old motorbike.
I don't like. I had a blood test the other day, but I do not like needles. I don't like needles at all. I look away when I'm having an injection.
I'm fine with injections into any part of my body, but I won't have them in my mouth. And the reason is that I've
always been completely the opposite. I love injections in my mouth.
Really?
I really quite like them. In fact, the more sort of intrusive the dentistry, the better I like it, really.
Well, I'm not keen on dentists now. I was the last in Britain to be gassed.
They didn't use enough gas, did they?
Yeah, I mean, I did come round. But that's when they first started phasing gas out, because they said gas is too dangerous.
The big black mask. Oh. You can see it coming towards your face, and the smell of the rubber, and having all my bottom teeth filled without anaesthetic. Dentists. Just brutal. Really brutal.
Dr. Bewers, he was very good, that boy. I mean, I think he was the first one that told me, some of the many things that was wrong with me. I had a problem with the inner ear and asthma, what I had for a long time.
Got a small scar on my forehead where a child threw a brick at me. Well, it seemed like a brick at the time, but... And I've got a scar here.
I have no scars whatsoever anywhere. Have I? In fact, you count that as a scar. It's only a little...
Well, it is a scar, yeah.
Well, I don't count it as a scar, so...
Do you not?
No.
I've got a scar on my elbow, and a scar on my other elbow, and a scar on my knee.
On my face, my legs, my stomach.
And a scar on my other knee, my tongue, my head.
My arms, wrists, hands, everywhere. There is no one part on my body that does not have a scar.
I don't think I've got any other scars. Not physical ones, mental ones, obviously. I've got a lot of them, but you can't see them because they're inside my brain.
I was injured badly once. Somebody kicked me in the forehead. Being very young, I got up and carried on and didn't think, it had done me much damage. For all I know, some of that damage may still be there. May still affect some of the things I do and some of the things I say.
I've broken all my toes, I've got a dodgy knee, I've busted both my ankles and bent my feet back round so they're next to my shins, broken my hand and my wrist, my collarbones 3 times, bashed my head, knackered my back. And it's all been worth it.
It's great. I love smiling, I love being happy and jovial, telling jokes, being the butt end of jokes, but hey, now I can do it with a mouthful of teeth and I'm really looking forward to it.
I've had crabs, they were good.
They got out of hand, didn't they?
They did, yeah.
Ooh, hang on. Won't let anyone stick a thermometer.
Now it's a lot of talk, is what I find. Yeah. Sorry, what was the question again?